have to remember this was 20 years ago. I got to see a genetic counselor who basically brought me in and said, there's no reason for you to test. And I
Wow.
said, why not? Yeah. She's like, because HD is a death sentence. There's nothing for you. You can't get involved in anything. So there's really no point. I started crying. And she said, are you crying because you don't want to do it? And I said, no, I'm crying because you're discouraging me from doing something that I need to do for myself.
Mm.
I'm not doing this for anybody else except for me and the fact that I need to do it. So she said, okay, well, we'll continue and we'll go ahead and do the testing. And so I did a neurologic exam that day and they drew my blood. And then 3 weeks later, I went back in to get my results. We were walking in the door and I didn't even get the chance to sit down. And she immediately said, well, you've got a CAG of 43. You're positive for Huntington's disease. I was just kind of shocked. But at the same time, there was also a sense of relief of just knowing. It was no longer unknown. It was no longer second guessing myself. Like, at least if I had an answer, I could move forward. I could be proactive. I could deal with it the way I wanted to deal with it. And so there was a sense of relief in that. For me, it was the right time. And I just knew it is what I needed for me. Complicate matters, my dad didn't know what his results were. He had not been tested yet. We also knew that if I was positive, that meant that my dad would then be positive. So I asked my dad beforehand, do you want to know my results when I get them? Or do you want me to not tell you? And he said he didn't want to know. I said, okay.
Oh.
And so I did not tell him for 3 months. And he finally asked.